Good morning from gorgeous western Iowa, where things are really green because every week or so we've been getting rain, watering the crops, watering the lawns, watering the trees, and it's just really nice out here right now. So currently 8:30 in the morning or so, 59 degrees, my backyard thermometer says, some light rain coming down. It's just refreshingly cool. And, light rain, half the calories of our regular rain, we'll take it. Remember back in the day when you had a phone and you couldn't get it wet? Aren't you glad the technology has evolved? So, beautiful start to the day. We might see a few more showers for tonight as well. But we're going to send it back inside to future Mike, and he's going to have your forecast for you. Mike? Thank you, Mike. Time for our weather spotlight. Let's go to Dallas Fort Worth, shall we? Because you would think, and we'll show you this, we have a cool front coming, but it's not going to cool things off all that much for many parts of the Big D. So temperatures staying what they're calling seasonably hot through the weekend. So temperatures near 100 next couple days, dropping into the upper 90s. So maybe a couple degrees cooler, but still feeling hotter. With that humidity. Waco, Temple, Killeen, same story. Sherman, Denison, a little further north, a little bit cooler, but still on the hot side. And there's the 6 to 10 temperature outlook and precipitation outlook, which we'll have, of course, later in this forecast. We're going to start, we've already started, with our hazards for this morning. The watches and warnings around the country. A little bit of wind still for Idaho, Nevada. Red flag warnings here. We do have excessive heat warnings along the Colorado River of Southern California and southwestern Arizona. So Yuma, I think you're included in that, probably El Centro, California. And then around Phoenix, excessive heat warnings, temperatures around that 110 mark or a little above for some. Maybe Maricopa included in that. You get into Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. Here's our heat advisory area with that excessive heat warning bullseye around Dallas up to the Red River there. And still some river flooding, Florida through South and North Carolina, a little bit in Missouri, and then up in New York State. You included Connecticut and some of that. Severe weather today, question mark? Oh, I forgot. The fog. There's fog up there in Maine. Okay, severe weather today, you ask? Maybe. We're looking mostly for Montana as our slight risk with a marginal risk around that. Also a marginal risk up there in southeastern Colorado, northeastern New Mexico, a little bit of the Oklahoma panhandle. So that's our best chance for a severe storm or two. Not looking for any tornado risk here, but maybe some damaging winds or some hail. Now, the last few days, southern Arizona has had some severe weather, mainly with wind and a little bit of hail. And that has happened. And, they've managed a marginal risk here and there. But today it looks like a little bit less of a chance of severe weather. But still, with the monsoon for the Four Corners, it's not out of the question to have a microburst or something like that to knock, knock a fence over or something. So that's still a possibility for you in Arizona. Surface today. Well, there we go. Our stationary front along the eastern slopes of the Rockies. There's your bullseye for the severe weather in Montana. You go further south along that front, kind of stationary around Big D. So again, a little bit cooler, north of Dallas, places like Sherman, but still hot, seasonably hot. And that cool front pushing through the southeast, so cooler, but still on the warm side. Scattered storms for Florida and Georgia, South Carolina, too. And then up in New England, still up into Maine, still a chance for rain. And there we see our rain, and that's going to be heavy at times for especially western Washington, but the Pacific Northwest getting wet. Highs today, yes, very high from the desert Southwest, so 112. I'm not sure exactly where. I think that's Lake Havasu, probably, Arizona. There's a 111, probably near El Centro. 110, Phoenix, close to 110 there for Las Vegas. And then you got, as you head into the south central part of the country, 103 for Roswell and 103 for Dallas. even a 109 for, I think that's Abilene. So very hot temperatures continuing with the humidity in the south central United States. Those heat indices approach the actual temperatures for Phoenix. So Phoenix 110 feels like 109, 110. Dallas 103 feels like 110. You get the idea. All right, 90s still for the south, and then further north you get into the 80s and even 70s. 70s around the Great Lakes, Ohio River Valley, and even some cooler than that, maybe a few 60s up there for New York State up into New Hampshire, Maine. So very pleasant. And temperatures approaching 80 for the Willamette Valley, some 70s up there in western Washington. Tomorrow's surface, kind of the same. Your stationary front stays stationary by the definition of a stationary front. So along the eastern slopes of the Rockies again, and our severe weather for Montana shifts a little bit east. We'll include more of North Dakota for tomorrow afternoon during the heat of the day. And maybe some heavy rain for northern Arizona, places like Flagstaff up to the Grand Canyon. Could see some heavy rain with some flash flooding with that. Some showers and storms continuing. Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and up in New England as well. And the Pacific Northwest, especially the coast. To start the day tomorrow morning, look at that. Look at those 40s. Wisconsin and Michigan into northern Indiana, northern Illinois. 40s. 50 degrees for Columbus, Ohio, and Cincinnati. 52 for Lexington. Just nice and cool. 50 or so to start the day. West Virginia, some 40s and to near 50 for New York and Pennsylvania. Mid 50s. That's Hartford, Connecticut, all the way up to Portland, Maine. So just beautiful, cool, early autumn weather, even though it's not yet autumn. Further to the south, even still nice. North Carolina, 60s for lows, 60s to near 70, South Carolina. Some 60s for lows in Alabama, northern Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, here in Iowa. Just a really nice start to the day. Now hotter in Texas where that high pressure is centered. So 70s to near 80 to start the day. Same for the desert Southwest where it's going to be hot. But the West, too, very cool to start the day. 40s for New Hampshire, eastern Oregon. 50s for eastern Washington, all the way into Montana. 50s for the coast of California, or for, Northern California. Oregon and Washington into the Willamette Valley. Just very pleasant to start the day tomorrow, but it will be hot in the afternoon. Maybe even a little hotter for West Texas, 104 for Lubbock, so 102 today, 104 tomorrow. Not quite as hot for Phoenix, 110 today, 104 tomorrow. Is that a 4? Hard for me to say. And so, temperature still in the 90s southeast, cooler as you head north. The cool spot going from Michigan, where it's still nice in the 70s. The 60s go a little further east, mainly confined to New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, a little bit of Massachusetts, and also for the Cascades of Oregon and Washington. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, depending on elevation. So those are your highs tomorrow. A little hotter for some, a little bit cooler for others. And then we head into our 48-hour rain map. And so this is where it's going to be the wettest the next couple of days. So the Olympic Mountains of Washington up to Vancouver Island. Western Washington, some pretty good rains. I mean, we could be approaching or exceeding even 1.5 inches in areas here. For Arizona, could be 1 inch or more for southern Arizona, and then also getting into northern Arizona. South Dakota with a pretty good bullseye for rain, 1.5 inches to 2 inches for some. Florida, a little bit of that as well, and then way up there in the northeast. I just threw this in here for fun, but this will, we're not there yet, but our 48-hour snow, 48-hour snow for the lower 48. We're not expecting any snow in the next couple of days. All right. For Thursday, just a quick peek, monsoon still on for the Four Corners, rain and showers for Oregon and Washington, Northern California. Those showers and storms going through the Central Plains up into the upper Midwest and northern plains. Still along our stationary front for the southeast Florida, still with those afternoon showers, and still on the wet side for northern New England. Real quick now, let's go through, I don't know how quick, but let's go through our GFS model right here, initiated around midnight, and we're starting this morning. And we do see those showers coming out of South Dakota here into eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, where I was able to go out and stand in some light rain. It was very nice this morning. Those showers kind of ending and weakening. We do see some bubbling up here, southern Arizona, northern Mexico, a few showers in the Four Corners. This is getting to tonight, actually. So late afternoon, early evening, we see those showers and storms here in parts of Montana and the southeast. But it's, kind of quiet. I mean, this is more of a summer pattern that continues. But you can see these showers moving up out of Mexico into southern Arizona as we get into the overnight hours. This is early morning tomorrow. So probably just after midnight for southern Arizona. And you see the rotation around the high, bringing the moisture up from the south. That is typical monsoon. And then as we get into the day tomorrow, where are our showers going to bubble up? Well, how about Colorado, Wyoming, into Utah, some rain here in western Washington. Again, this is tomorrow afternoon. Some light rain up here in the northeast and a shower here in Georgia as we get later in the evening. This is tomorrow evening. So let me go back one because we had some pretty good showers here, South Dakota into Nebraska, some widely scattered showers in Montana, a little bit wetter as you get into Colorado. Again, monsoon still on, some light rain mostly for western Washington and a few showers in the southeast and up in the northeast. And so as we get into this is almost midnight tomorrow night, moving into Thursday morning, we see some showers up here in North Dakota, some showers in the southeast, some showers in the Four Corners. And so, nothing too dramatic here with any of this. Minnesota getting a little bit wet here Thursday morning, approaching noontime now. And then as we get into the afternoon, we see a good area of showers centered right around the Four Corners. And we also see a few showers here in Texas. Boy, would they love that. Cool you off at least for a few hours. And then some showers here in the northeast as we get later in the day, Thursday night, overnight. This is Friday morning now. Friday morning, you can just see, a few more showers for the Pacific Northwest, a little bit of low here, moving into southern Oregon and northern California. It looks like I'm looking off screen, but I'm actually looking. Where am I looking? I'm looking at the map over here, but for you, it's over here. Okay, anyway. Showers into the central Rockies and also Florida, southern Florida, some pretty good rains there. Lake Okeechobee and some heavy rain south of that. Again, this is a late Friday night as we get into midnight Friday and then early morning Saturday. The heaviest rains continuing for Washington State here. A few showers scattered across the southeast, a little bit of rain moving into Missouri. As we get into the day on Saturday, some rain for western Montana, panhandle of Idaho, just north of Boise. Rain continuing for western Washington, scattered showers into Florida, and that continues. And then as we get into Saturday night, some parts of Iowa into Missouri getting wet, moving into Illinois. These showers moving into Canada, into Alberta. A little bit of light rain here for Pennsylvania along the eastern Great Lakes. Scattered storms along the Texas Gulf Coast as we get into the day on Sunday and then moving into Monday. All right, let's take a look at the longer range. So our 6 to 10 day probability outlook. See, when I'm on this side of the screen, I'm looking right at it. Anyway, so where are the cool spots? Well, that would be centered right over the northern Rockies, Intermountain West, Idaho, the bullseye, looks like western Montana, western Wyoming. Cooler than average temperatures, your best chance. The high pressure is moving into the center of the country, and we'll show you that here in just a second with your weekend temperatures. We're going up here in the Midwest, and so that's our best chance for above average temperatures. Precipitation wise, northern Rockies, into the Pacific Northwest, into the northern plains, and also along the Texas Gulf Coast, your best chance for rain. So looking forward to the weekend. It's going to stay hot in Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas and Louisiana. These are highs for Saturday. And you can see that high pressure expanding now into the Central Plains, even into the Midwest, which that'll be especially evident on Sunday's temperatures. But those 100s are migrating north now in the plains, so well into the hundreds for southern Kansas here on Saturday. And so those cooler temperatures are now more northern Rockies, Pacific Northwest. And as we take a look for our highs, oh, did I not load up the Sunday highs? Nope, this is Monday, August 19th. So disregard that. So Saturday, we'll just go with Saturday since I didn't load up Sunday. We do see those high temperatures getting hotter as we head further north. But I do know here in Iowa, for example, we're going to go from like 89 on Saturday for Omaha. And then we're usually about 5 degrees cooler than that here, so mid 80s here in western Iowa. We're going to go into the low 90s here in western Iowa, mid 90s or even upper 90s for Omaha. So those high temperatures moving north as we head into the weekend. All right. Well, thanks for bearing with me, and thanks for tuning in. It's been fun, and we'll do it again tomorrow right here on the Weather Mic.